You tell us that you always enjoyed a good relationship with Moya Greene, the Chief Executive of Royal Mail Group, in your witness statement.
Yeah, we had a good working relationship.
You say, no need to turn it up, paragraph 259 on page 114, I got on very well with Moya.
I got on very well with most of the people I work with, yeah.
I'm focusing on Moya Greene at the moment. She overlapped very extensively as Chief Executive of Royal Mail Group, with your holding the most senior positions in the Post Office. Yes?
Yes.
She became CEO of Royal Mail Group in July 2010. You became MD of Post Office in October 2010.
Yes.
She left in 2018 and you left in early 2019.
Yes.
So a very substantial period of overlap. Can we look, please, at PVEN 50532? This is a new document for the inquiry, having been properly disclosed by you recently. It's an iMessage exchange with Moya Greene, and I think you'll be familiar with it.
What was the reference again, Mr. Beer? Sorry.
PVEN 50532.
Thank you.
Can you help us to date it, please?
I think this is January this year.
You'll see that the way you've screenshotted it includes the words yesterday at 6:46. That doesn't literally mean yesterday from the day that you disclosed it to us. It was captures.
I think Moya had been away. She had come back to the UK. I have a sense this is around January time because I think it was at the time of the ITV drama.
That would make sense because in the third paragraph it says Nick was a poor witness, chairman gone. That's a reference to Mr. Staunton, yes?
I believe so.
And he resigned, I think, or was required to resign on the 27th of January 2024.
Yes.
Let's just read through it. Paula, I'm just back in the UK. What I have learned from the inquiry, stroke parliamentary committee, questions is very damaging. Nick, that's Nick Reed, yes?
Yes.
Nick Reed was a poor witness. Chairman, as we've established, that's Mr. Henry Staunton, correct, yes? Has gone. He will be next. When it was clear the system was at fault, the Post Office should have raised a red flag, stopped all proceedings, given people back their money, and then tried to compensate them from the ruin this caused in their lives. Moya. And then if we go down, please, the next page. Keep going. You say in reply, yes, I agree. This has, stroke is, taking too long, Moya. The toll on everyone affected is dreadful. I hope you had a good break and are well. Best wishes, Paula. Moya Greene. I don't know what to say. I think you knew. Moya. You reply, no, Moya, that isn't the case. She replies, I want to believe you. I asked you twice. I suggested you get an independent review, reporting to you. I was afraid you were being lied to. You said the system had already been reviewed multiple times. How could you not have known? Over the page. And scroll down. Moya, the mechanism for getting to the bottom of this is the inquiry. I've made it my priority to support it fully. Moya Greene. The Post Office did not. They dragged their heels. They did not deliver documents. They did not compensate people. Paula, you appealed the judge's decision. I'm sorry. I can't now support you. I've supported you all these years to my own detriment. I can't support you now after what I have learned at Moya. You'll see in the course of that exchange, Moya Greene accuses you of knowing.
Yes.
Did you understand that to be an accusation that you knew about bugs, errors and defects in Horizon?
No, I understood this to be Moya, and there is a further series of exchanges of text where Moya steps back a little bit from the challenges that she's putting here. I understood that Moya had returned to the country earlier this year, that she had been listening to all of the information in the inquiry, and she was trying to square her memory with what she was hearing. That's
If we go up a page, please. She says in the second text down there, I think you knew, and you say that isn't the case. What did you think you were denying?
I think Moya was possibly suggesting there that there was some conspiracy, as you mentioned earlier, and as I said, I didn't believe that was the case. She may have been saying that I knew. No, I think it's the same thing. I was going to say about a cover-up, but the same thing.
At the text at the foot of the page, she asks you the question, how could you not have known? And your reply, if we scroll down, you don't answer that question, do you?
No, and I didn't not answer that question. I was very concerned because I was aware that it is not good practice to be exchanging texts in the middle of an inquiry. And so I simply wanted to say to her that the place for resolving all of this was the inquiry. It wasn't that I should or shouldn't have answered her question.
Ms Vennells, we've got a lot of your text messages.
Yes.
You have been exchanging text messages with a lot of people, including in the currency of this inquiry, haven't you?
Not since the inquiry became a public inquiry. I exchanged texts in relation to the Select Committee in 2020 and
the setting up of the inquiry.
And when the inquiry was non-statutory. And then I understood, and the reason I exchanged those texts was to try to help to give good information to the Select Committee and to the inquiry. The intention of all of those texts that were exchanged was entirely positive.
You don't answer the question, how could you not have known? What's the answer to that question that the Chief Executive of Royal Mail Group is asking you? How could you not have known?
This is a situation that is so complex. It's a question I have asked myself as well. I have learned some things that I didn't know as a result of the inquiry. And I imagine that we will go into some of the detail of that. I wished I had known.
That's not the issue. The question is, how come you didn't?
I think the question then is which question am I trying to answer? That the inquiry, that there were two trials. There was the Common Issues trial and there was the Horizon Issues trial. If I take the Common Issues trial, I did know a number of aspects that came up during that trial and where Judge Fraser found that the Post Office needed to change its practices and its contract. In terms of the onerous nature of the contract, I was in the board meeting where the board reviewed that contract as a result of the Linklaters advice, which we touched on previously, and we were given very straightforward advice that the contract was an acceptable contract.